Today we're going to be looking at the second free Mixdown giveaway. This is again a track that came in through the community, which is always quite nice. Let's dive in and see what I've done to this one. So again, this came in through my demo drop initially. The first version I got sent in a while back and I gave some feedback. The first version we'll play it in a bit. When I heard it, like in the intro, I thought like, the mix sounds off, but then the kick and the bass and everything hits in, and then it felt like everything was falling into place. But I could tell, or I had the feeling that he used a lot of loops for his drums. I don't mind using loops, as you know. I think it's good to use them, but you lack control in your mix if you use full drum loops for everything. I'll show you in a bit as well. I think he got back saying that he was using loops, so I said like try and use hits to get more control and to get your mix better. Just small tip on the arrangement, set like shorten your intro a little bit. And then overall, again, like what I always say, it's like it's a good idea is that count. I thought it was like a really good idea. It could do with a proper mix. He then actually sent me a new version in which he basically did everything I said, and it sounded a lot better already. But I still wanted to give it a try and see if I could get it to another level. So let's hear it. So I could hear the vision and I could like everything's there more or less, but the drums just didn't sound right. And I think it's because he's using a loop. So what happens if you use a loop? Let's take this for example. So kick. And this one, I need a bass. This, for example. So something like this. Let's say I now take a full loop, these ones. Like something like this, which has a lot of elements in there, right? So let's say I have my kick bass and I want to mix in my drums now. I just have one loop. So let's say I'm happy with that more or less. Now the thing is, with these kind of loops, you got everything in there. So what happens is the one who made these specs, they mix this loop and they mix it the way that they like it. And maybe I like to have my clap a little bit less loud than they like, or my percussion or whatever. So I can now control like only this, and as you can see, these loops are processed as well, so they're compressed and limited too. Let's say I have my head now at a level where I want it, then everything else is exactly the same as the one who made this pack leveled it. So for me the percussion is now way too loud, for example, and the clap also. So if you really want to use this loop, then you can cut it up in bits so you have more control. That's my clap there, and then you can get that out onto a new channel, say like that's my clap. You can get these heads out, add them onto a new channel, and then that's the big head. So this should be heads only. And then that's the percussion. So now I have like clap, percussion here, and my heads. And then I can mix them separately. You could do this, or you could just use drum hits. I like to use drum hits so you can get a groove going, and then I layer it with loops to fill out the spaces in between. So Canmore, who this record is from, went away back into the studio and did some more work on it, and he then sent me this. Which already gave it a much cleaner feel. But then he sent this track in to the Mixdown competition. I like it, so I thought, why not give it a go? These are the stems that I received from him. Let's go through them. So there was something strange. Like here, you see there's a volume. It looks like there's a volume automation going down. I suppose something on the master. I don't know if it was deliberate or an accident, but it was like in almost all parts. So I just recycled some stuff to have like the full volume everywhere. So first off, kick sounded great. So I just kept that and done nothing with that. Then the bass. So it's kind of a lead sound that also fills out the bass. If I have a sound like that, I like to separate the really lows from the mid-lows frequencies, so to say. So I split this up in the sub bass, so just with an EQ, cutting out everything above 250. And then the tops. Cutting out everything below 150. I then used Track Spacer on the sub. Set this to the kick, so that's side chaining all of it. And then for the top bass, I suppose I'm side chaining only the everything below 500-ish hertz. So together. And again, why I split them is again control. Like it's the same with the loops kind of things. I want to have control over the sub and the mid bass, so I can give them separate volume. Then for the drums, all of the drums like in one channel, or most of the drums. Usually I prefer to have my claps and my heads a separate channel, but I thought just let's just run with it. Like everything from this had like quite a lot of highs in it. So I used a Soothe on here. Just to take a bit of the sharp edges from the drums. Then I used Track Spacer again to the kick, to slightly side chain, but only everything below 2500 hertz. just makes everything blend in a little bit better. Extra drums. Hold on, I also added a filter. So this one's just in the breakdowns, filtering down a little bit towards the end of the breakdown. Then I added some extra drums, which is just a clap and a hi-hat. And this is exactly what I meant, like, so I want control. So because everything is together here, I don't have that much control, but just by simply adding like a simple clap and a simple hi-hat, I can write those two as high as I want. And these are like setting the main levels, basically. And then the other drums, they just add to it. So together with the kick and the bass. Oh yeah, so on these drums I added a little bit of this, which basically is just like a big reverb. To add some tension in the breakdowns. And as you can see, I've done nothing at all when it comes to processing on these. So these are just to give it like a little bit extra. Then I received some rides. They sounded good as well, so I just used them. Fills, these are really nice. The main thing I've done with them is like up them in the mix a little bit, because I felt like they were buried a little bit. For some reason, a lot of people like mix these in kind of low, but I think like if you use the fills, you use these to break things up a little bit. So why would you bury them in the mix, and why not have that? Especially if they sound good, just use them and put them up so you can properly hear them. And then I also have a crash, which I just used as is. Everything through a drum bus, a little bit of compression. Hold on, let me show you here. Compression. A little bit of radiator. Just to give it a bit more dirt, and then EQ, cutting out everything below 100 Hertz. All together. And then some effects. These were also sounding great, so I just used them as is. High string. The only thing I've done with this is shorten it a little bit, because there's like a little gap here, a little silence. And I just felt like it sounded better if the string ended here instead of here. He had it like this. So it's just minor details, but sometimes they make a difference. A nice pad. Same thing, haven't done anything apart from like shorten it a little bit. Then the vocals. You got me feeling like there's nothing I can do to please you. Oh, you. So these were very high. So
you got me feeling like there's nothing I can do to please you. Oh, you got it not in head.
So I thought like it might be better to give them a little bit more body. So I've used a little Ultra Boy, pitch it down an octave and give it drive a little bit, and then just mix it in ever so slightly.
You got me feeling like there's nothing I can do to
just to give it a little bit of body. Soothe.
You got me feeling like there's nothing I can do.
Takes away a little bit of the sharp sounds. Then some neutron. Doing quite a bit of EQ.
You got me feeling like there's nothing I can do to please you. Oh, you.
Also, like taking away from the highs and boosting the mids a little bit more to have it less sharp. Also does some compression and other stuff to make it sound a bit better.
You got me feeling like there's nothing I can do to please you.
And then EQ and just boosting this to give it again more body.
You got me feeling like there's nothing I can do to please you. Oh, you.
I just like the way that sounds. So like everything together.
You got me feeling like there's nothing I can do to please you. Oh, you got it not in head. Now I'm stronger, I can break free from
And then we have a synth. Like pretty cool sounding synth. Just a little bit of cutting out the lows, and then I added the same thing which I've added to the drums to build some tension in the breakdown. Some extra steps that come in here. Just cutting out the lows and nothing else. And then I have vocal steps. Which again, nothing but EQing out some of the lows. So all in all, this was a less complicated job than the previous one, because mainly I kept everything more or less the same. So when it's this type of project, it's more of leveling the elements and the small details, like getting the low end a little bit better, taking away a little bit from the harshness of the top end. Usually I would also give the drums some reverb, but like he clearly uses a lot of reverb, and I think it sounds quite nice. He has like a big reverb tail going on everything. If you listen to this, like there's a lot of reverb already going on. So I didn't add any reverb on any of the elements, and to like, so you can hear like his version and my version. I'll just play them back to back. So as you can hear those fills, like they're pretty quiet in his mix. I just made them a lot louder. So overall, it sounds very similar, but the low end is like more full and round, and the high ends are tamed in a little bit more. We can go through the master chain, or what I put on it as a master chain. It's the same as pretty much everything. I got a Canmore tape, which adds just a little bit saturation to the low end. A little bit of SSL. It's doing, or it should not do much. A little bit of standard clip, get some peaks. Then an EQ doing nothing. An EQ here, boosting the sides a little bit, give it some width. Do nothing. And then my Pro L2. Just doing a little bit of gain reduction, a little bit of Oxford inflator. And then the ozone with quite a lot of EQ. Again, taming in the highs, boosting the mids. So this is something that you could probably also do on the channels separate, but since they all had like the quiet highs, I just prefer doing it on the master basically. And then the usual impact, clarity, stabilizer, a little bit of dynamic EQ, and then my final limiter, just giving it the extra push. And then my span to check if everything looks all right too. And that was more or less it for this one. Then we have a second breakdown. Which is just exactly like he had it. I just added the same thing, like with the drums, a little bit of reverb, and with the synth as well. Where is it? Here, just some reverb opening up, and that's about it. So overall, pretty solid production from Canmore, and I just like added a few extra percent, or at least I hope so. So that was it for this month's free Mixdown giveaway. You can still participate. I'll put the details in the comments where you can submit your demo if you want to win one of these. And I hope to see you next month.